Welcome to Dogs Info.
The same feeding mistake, and most don't even know it. Every year, the ASPCA reports over 200,000 dogs get sick or poisoned because of everyday food habits. Think about it. It's not just the food you buy. It's when you feed, how you feed, even the tiny routines you repeat without thinking. And the shocking part, we've all done it. Me, you, every single owner. That's why today I'll show you the hidden mistakes that upset your dog's stomach, raise their stress, and could even shorten their life. And trust me, when we reach mistake number 6, you'll realize it's the one you're guilty of, too. So, let's begin with mistake number 1, feeding your dog only once a day. Picture this. You wake up late, rushing through the morning. You pour a single giant bowl of food for your dog, thinking this will keep him full all day. It feels practical, maybe even loving, like giving them a feast. But what if I told you that moment that one big meal could actually be setting your dog up for discomfort, stress, and even long-term health problems? Here's the truth. A dog's stomach isn't built to handle that much food all at once. Imagine stuffing your backpack until the zipper almost bursts. That's exactly what happens inside their belly. Studies from the American Veterinary Medical Association show that dogs who eat just once a day have a higher risk of digestive issues, acid reflux, and even behavioral stress. Their stomachs are overwhelmed for hours, working overtime to break down a mountain of food. And then for the rest of the day, they run on empty acid, building up their bodies, craving balance that never comes. It's a bit like leaving a car running with no gas in the tank. You wouldn't expect the engine to work smoothly, would you? Dogs are no different. Some develop hunger pangs so sharp they lick floors or chew furniture. Others grow restless, pacing as if their body is screaming, "Feed me!" But feed me right. And yet so many owners don't see the signs. They mistake it for bad behavior, never realizing it's simply biology fighting back. Researchers at the University of Liverpool tracked feeding patterns and found that splitting meals into 2 morning and evening not only improved digestion, but also kept energy levels steady throughout the day. Dogs in the study were calmer, less anxious, and showed healthier weight control compared to single meal eaters. Think of it like giving your dog 2 small fires instead of one big blaze. The warmth lasts longer, the flame burns steadier, and nothing goes to waste. So the next time you reach for that bowl, remember your dog doesn't need a feast once a day. They need rhythm, balance, a steady flow of fuel, not a flood followed by drought. It's such a simple shift, yet it changes everything better. Digestion, more stable moods, and yes, even a longer, healthier life. And if that makes you pause, wait until you hear the second mistake. Because this one isn't about how much food you give, but the way you give it. Mistake number 2. Always feeding your dog from a bowl. Now, let me ask you something. When was the last time you watched your dog eat? You probably filled their bowl, set it on the floor, and in just a few minutes, gone. Clean. Empty. It feels efficient, right? But here's the hidden danger. By making food too easy, we've stripped away something vital from their life. Dogs weren't born to eat from bowls. Their ancestors spent hours tracking prey, sniffing trails, and solving nature's puzzles just to find a meal. That struggle wasn't cruel. It was stimulation. It kept their brains sharp, their bodies engaged, and their instincts alive. When we replace that challenge with a shiny bowl on the kitchen floor, we might fill their stomach, but we starve their mind. Scientists at the University of Bristol studied canine enrichment and found that dogs given puzzle feeders or scent-based feeding mats showed lower cortisol levels, less destructive behavior, and greater overall happiness. In plain words, they were calmer, smarter, and less bored. Compare that to bee-fed dogs who often become restless, anxious, or mischievous, chewing shoes, barking non-stop, or digging at the carpet. Not because they're bad dogs, but because they're understimulated. Think of it this way. Imagine giving a child a tablet that plays cartoons all day. No books, no games, no interaction. They'd be quiet, yes, but they'd also miss out on growth. That's what a plain bowl does to your dog. It feeds them, but it doesn't fulfill them. The good news, the solution isn't complicated. Swap the bowl for a puzzle toy like a Kong wobbler. Scatter kibble across a sniff mat. Even roll food up in an old towel so they have to nudge and unwrap it. These simple changes turn mealtime into a hunt, a challenge, an adventure. Researchers call this foraging enrichment, and it taps directly into the ancient part of your dog's brain that craves work before reward. So, yes, a bowl is quick, but quick isn't always kind. A meal that lasts 3 minutes in a bowl could last 15 minutes with a puzzle, 15 minutes of focus, joy, and mental peace. And if you think boredom is bad, wait until we talk about what happens when you feed your dog too much. Because the next mistake doesn't just affect their mood, it can steal years from their life. Mistake number 3, overfeeding your dog. You know that look. Your dog gives you the wide eyes, the tilted head, the gentle paw on your leg. It's almost impossible to resist. You scoop a little extra kibble into the bowl. You slip a piece of chicken under the table. You tell yourself just this once. But here's the hard truth. Those tiny extras add up like drops of water filling a bucket. Before long, the bucket overflows. And in dogs, that overflow is called obesity. The numbers are sobering. According to the Association for Pet Obesity Prevention, more than 55% of dogs in the United States are overweight or obese. That means over half of our beloved companions carry extra pounds that quietly steal their energy, their comfort, and eventually years of their life. And yet, most owners don't even notice. To us, a chubby dog looks cute like a teddy bear. But inside, the story is darker. Excess weight presses down on their joints, grinding bone against bone. It pushes against their lungs, making every breath heavier. It strains the heart, forcing it to beat harder just to keep up. Veterinary studies show obese dogs are more likely to suffer arthritis, diabetes, and heart disease. And their lifespan can be shortened by as much as 2.5 years. Imagine losing 2 years of walks, games, and quiet nights together, all because of a few harmless snacks. Think of your dog's body like a backpack they must carry everywhere. When they're at a healthy weight, the backpack is snug, light, and easy to bear. But each extra treat is like slipping a stone into that bag. At first, they don't seem to notice, but day after day, stone after stone, the weight becomes crushing. And unlike us, they can't take the backpack off. So, what's the solution? Precision. Measure their meals instead of guessing. Read the feeding guidelines on the bag, then adjust for their treats. If you give them training snacks, subtract that amount from dinner. It's a balance sheet of calories, and every entry counts. Researchers at Payina even ran a lifetime study and discovered that dogs fed 25% fewer calories than their littermates lived nearly 2 years longer, healthier, happier years. The temptation to overfeed will never disappear. But love isn't found in extra food. Love is in giving them a body that feels light, strong, and pain-free. And if you think too much food is dangerous, wait until you hear what happens when you feed at the wrong time. Because the next mistake could flip your dog's stomach upside down, literally. Mistake number 4, feeding your dog before a walk. Picture this. Your dog finishes a big meal, tail wagging, licking the last crumbs from the bowl. He looks up at you full of energy, and you think, perfect time for a walk. The leash goes on, the door opens, and off you go. Never realizing you may have just set the stage for one of the most dangerous conditions a dog can face. Here's the science. When a dog eats, blood rushes to the stomach to power digestion. Muscles rest, organs focus, the whole system turns inward. But the moment you clip that leash and start moving, you pull that blood away from the stomach toward the muscles. It's like forcing a construction crew to abandon a building halfway through. The work is left unfinished and worse chaos begins. Veterinarians call it gastric dilatation villus or GDV. Most owners know it by another name, bloat. In simple words, the stomach swells with food and gas, then twists like a wet towel being wrung tight. The result is catastrophic, intense pain, vomiting, and without emergency surgery, death. According to research from Purdue University, dogs who exercise too soon after eating have a dramatically higher risk of developing bloat, especially Large, deep-chested breeds like German Shepherds, Great Danes, or Labradors. But make no mistake, any dog can be vulnerable. Imagine blowing up a balloon, then tying it in a knot and shaking it violently. That's what happens inside their body. The stomach expands, blood flow cuts off, and organs scream for oxygen, and the cruel twist owners often don't recognize the signs until it's too late. What began as a joyful walk turns into a desperate race to the vet. But there's hope, and it's simple. Flip the routine. Walk first, feed after. Give their stomach space to digest without interruption. Experts recommend at least 30 minutes of rest before or after meals and up to 2 hours for heavy exercise. Think of it like cooling an engine before pouring in fuel. The sequence matters, and getting it wrong can cost everything. So, the next time you reach for the leash after dinner, pause, breathe, let your dog's body do its quiet work. Because a safe meal followed by a calm walk is a rhythm that protects not just their stomach, but their life. And if timing feels tricky, wait until we talk about the food itself. Because the next mistake isn't about when you feed, but what you're actually putting inside the bowl. Mistake number 5. Ignoring the ingredients in your dog's food. Walk down any pet store aisle and you'll see bags stacked like colorful walls. Labels shout premium healthy, all natural. The packaging feels trustworthy, almost like grocery ads for humans. You toss it bag into the cart believing the brand's promise. But here's the uncomfortable truth. Not all food is created equal, and the wrong ingredients can quietly poison your dog's health. Veterinarians often compare some commercial dog foods to fast food for humans. It fills the belly, but at what cost? A study published in the Journal of Animal Physiology and Animal Nutrition revealed that many low-grade foods rely heavily on fillers, cheap carbohydrates like corn, soy, or wheat. These ingredients bulk up the bag but offer little nutrition. Imagine fueling a race car with sugar water. The tank looks full but the engine sputters. That's your dog's body on poor quality kibble. Then there's the meat. Flip the bag over. Do you see words like meat byproduct or animal meal? That's a red flag. These terms often hide what's left behind after real cuts are removed. Feathers, beaks, even bone dust. Researchers at Tufts University warned that these byproducts can lack the essential amino acids dogs need for muscle repair, heart health, and a strong immune system. A dog fed on this leftover stew may look fine today, but will pay the price tomorrow. And don't overlook preservatives. Chemicals like BHA, BHT, or ethoxyquin have been linked to cancer and organ damage in long-term studies. Contrast that with natural preservatives like rosemary extract or vitamin E, which protect freshness without hurting the body. The difference is the gap between a ticking time bomb and real safety. The best foods tell you exactly what you're feeding. Real chicken, turkey, salmon, brown rice, sweet potatoes, blueberries. Each word reads like a grocery list you trust for yourself. And science backs it up. Research shows dogs on diets rich in high-quality protein and antioxidants live longer with fewer illnesses and brighter energy. So the next time you grab that shiny bag, pause, turn it over, read the fine print, because behind the promises, the truth hides in the ingredients list. And if this makes you uneasy, it should. Because the next mistake has nothing to do with the bag itself, but with your dog's age. And feeding the wrong food at the wrong stage of life can quietly steal their strength before you even notice. Mistake number 6. Not adjusting food for your dog's age. Think back to when your dog was just a puppy. Tiny paws, clumsy steps, teeth sharper than they should be. Back then, you probably laughed at how quickly they grew, almost as if you could see it happening day by day. But here's the part many owners miss. The food that fuels a puppy should never be the same food that sustains an adult or comforts a senior. Yet countless dogs are fed the same kibble year after year as if age doesn't matter. It does more than you think. Puppies are like little engines running at full throttle. Their bodies demand higher protein, more fat, and precise minerals like calcium and phosphorus to build bones strong enough to carry them through life. A study in the Journal of Veterinary Nutrition found that puppies fed adult food too Early risked skeletal deformities and growth issues. Imagine building a skyscraper with weak steel beams. It might rise fast, but it won't stand strong. That's the danger of feeding them wrong at the start. Now picture the other end of the leash, your senior dog. The muzzle graying, the pace slower, the naps longer. Their needs have changed, too. They no longer burn energy like wildfire. Instead, they fight subtle battles against arthritis, heart strain, and weight gain. Older dogs need fewer calories, but richer nutrients, antioxidants to fight aging cells, glucosamine for joints, and easily digestible proteins that keep muscle from fading away. Research from the University of G shows senior dogs on age-appropriate diets maintain sharper cognition and healthier mobility compared to those stuck on generic adult kibble. Feeding without age in mind is like dressing a child in their baby clothes or handing a cane to a teenager. It doesn't fit. It doesn't serve. It quietly harms. Your dog's age is a map, and their diet must follow its path. So don't let habit blind you. Watch the candles on the birthday cake. Read the bag carefully. Choose puppy food for the young adult, formulas for the strong years, and senior blends for the wise ones, because feeding them right at the right stage isn't just nutrition. It's respect for the body they carry through life. And if you think age is complicated, wait until you hear the last mistake. Because this one flips everything upside down. The food you could be making at home, fresh and natural, might be the very thing your dog has been waiting for all along. Mistake number 7. Not considering homemade food. Walk into your kitchen and picture this fresh chicken sizzling in the pan, sweet potatoes, steaming blueberries glistening in a bowl. Now imagine sliding that plate down to the floor for your dog. Their nose twitches, tail thumps, eyes widen. It feels natural, doesn't it? Yet, most of us never consider homemade meals for our dogs, believing that kibble is the only safe option. But here's the twist done right. Homemade food can be one of the healthiest gifts you'll ever give. Commercial food is convenient, yes, but it's also manufactured, preserved, and processed to sit on shelves for months. A study in the Journal of Animal Science found that heat processing in kibble destroys delicate vitamins, reduces protein quality, and alters fats in ways that can stress a dog's system over time. It's like comparing a microwaved dinner to a fresh garden salad. Both fill your stomach, but one nourishes your body in ways the other never can. Homemade food, when balanced, gives you control. You decide the protein, chicken, turkey, salmon. You choose the carbs, brown rice, oats, or sweet potato. You add vegetables like carrots or spinach packed with antioxidants. Researchers at Purdue University even found that dogs who ate vegetables at least 3 times a week had a lower risk of developing certain cancers. That's not hype. That's science hidden in your fridge. Of course, there's a catch. Homemade food isn't just scraps from your plate. Dogs aren't little humans. Their bodies crave a different recipe. Too much fat can inflame the pancreas. Too little calcium can weaken bones. That's why veterinary nutritionists urge balance: roughly 40% protein, 50% vegetables and carbs, 10% healthy fats, plus key supplements like calcium and omega-3s. It's not complicated once you know the formula, but skipping it can turn good intentions into silent harm. Think of homemade meals as tailoring a suit. Off-the-rack kibble might fit okay, but a suit made for your dog's body age, weight, activity level fits perfectly. It protects, supports, and lasts. So, next time you cook, ask yourself, what if a portion could become your dog's dinner? What if the path to fewer preservatives, brighter eyes, shinier coats, and longer years is already in your kitchen? Because when it comes to food, the biggest mistake isn't what you're feeding. It's believing that change is too hard. When in truth, the first step might be as simple as opening your fridge. So now you see it's 7 simple mistakes hidden in plain sight that so many of us make without knowing. A single meal too large. A bowl that steals their curiosity. An extra scoop that weighs down their body. The wrong time, the wrong ingredients, the wrong food for their age, and the forgotten gift of fresh homemade care. Each one may feel small, but together they shape the life your dog lives. The comfort of their stomach, the strength of their body, the joy in their eyes. Dogs don't ask for much, just food, love, and time. And how we feed them is more than a routine. It's a message. Every meal whispers, either I see you, I care for you, or I didn't notice. I don't want you to look back one day and realize that the little things we ignored became the reason we lost time with them. Because time with our dogs is the most precious thing we'll ever have. And if these changes can give them even one more year at our side, one more walk, one more game of fetch, one more night with their head resting on your knee, then isn't it worth it? So promise me this tomorrow you'll feed with new eyes, with intention, with love disguised as science. Because when you do, your dog doesn't just eat, they thrive. And if you felt something today, if you learned one thing that could change your dog's life, don't let it end here. Hit subscribe, join our family, and let's keep discovering the hidden truths our dogs have been waiting for us to see. Together we can give them the life they deserve.
Thank for watching and like and subscribe share please.